Casually explain sports. Oh no. What could he say?
If you ask someone what are the capabilities of God themselves, they might say omnipotence, the capacity to be aware of and control all matter, time, and energy to their exact will. This is why when you see Messi, Tiger, or Michael Jordan do something crazy with a ball, you think, could it be? What makes the popularity of sports so interesting is that it's an incredible insight into the human psyche, which is that deep down, almost no one actually...
Cue up tweak.
Nothing made me feel better than back in the day when I was in like high school, like grade school and shit. And before the dislocations happened, I was so in love with basketball. Which I know you guys are gonna laugh because I know I'm 5'2", but I was so good at shooting the hoop. It was insane. I was always like insane. I was in varsity for basketball. And Demi basketball. I know. However, dude, guys, I'm good at shooting hoops, man. I'm pretty good. I'm a hopper. I shoot some hoops. However, I got like dislocations and stuff, so I couldn't play. You know what's so funny? I've never dislocated my knee when playing basketball, even if it's like so knee dependent. It's weird.
Cares about getting human life to Mars or curing cancer. We only really care.
Wait, 5'2" is 161. Wait, I'm 158. No. 5'2" is 157. I'm like dead ass, like on the point of 5'2".
Care about doing pointless fun activities with our friends. The activity, of course, being the defeat of other people who we think are not our friends, and the imaginary devastation we experience when we are instead defeated. So let's take a look at the most popular sports to see exactly what makes them so successful.
Right.
Ice hockey. Hockey is a fantastic
ice hockey is gruesome.
Sport because there's tons of action, lots of Canadians, and it incorporates the best part of good video game design, which is slidey ice levels. Apparently this is a hot take after looking it up, but once again, as a Canadian, it sounds more like a skill issue. The only critical error in hockey is that the puck is way too fucking small to see if you're in an arena.
No, oh my god, dude, I can never see it. Whenever I watch like ice games like this, like on the TV, I don't know where the the thing is. I can't see.
Really, you're just watching a bunch of guys skating one direction really fast, then all of a sudden turning around and skating the other direction really fast. This does, however, keep you entertained sufficiently as you wait for them to finally start punching each other. Rock climbing. Rock climbing is one of the most visceral human activities.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I really want to try rock climbing one day. Like, not actual ones, but like, you know, those fun, like, indoor rock climbing thingies? Like, dude, they look so fun. I think that when you struggle with, like, wanting to go to the gym, why not make the gym where it's more of, like, an activity than just, like, walking on a treadmill or some bullshit? I find them, I think they just look so fun. I saw PewDiePie doing it, and it looks so fun.
Which is not just our ape-like instinct to climb trees, but an evolved human instinct to just see what the most extreme pointless shit we can accomplish without dying. If you think about it, the moon landing was really just
literally Red Bull ads.
Extreme rock climbing. If you never rock climbed before, it's easy to think it's a pretty stupid and pointless activity, but once you do it a few times, you'll realize there's a reason that the #1 most sold item in grocery stores is the humble banana. Golf. Golf is an absolute heater of a sport, and it's only...
I never play golf. Never played even the child version of golf. Never tried it.
The downside is being way too expensive and far away from where you live. A lot of people who've never played golf assume it's really just mini golf, but...
Oh. What the hell? He just called me the f*** out. What the f***?
But bigger and more difficult. This is completely wrong. Hitting a ball into a hole is the meaningless part of golf. The sport is actually being able to drink and drive, and you only have to try to hit the ball into the hole so you can gamble on it. When you realize that golf isn't an upper crust gentleman's game, but just peak debauchery with the boys, then you understand why people want to get rich in the first place.
Oh, wire. Tennis is fun, but like I like badminton better. I said it.
Tennis. Being a 1v1 sport, I'm of course a big tennis fan, but the popularity of tennis has unfortunately been cannibalized recently by the bane of all tennis players' existence, recreational pickleball. The best way of summarizing the feud between pickleball and tennis is that pickleball players think, well, just because you have to run around all the time and hit the ball really hard doesn't mean you're better than us. And tennis players think, yes it does. The pickleball players then convert every public tennis court into pickleball courts by demanding the city council, aka themselves, do what the people want. If you know a tennis player, just be aware that they are societally down very bad and can't find a
Wow, I didn't even know about the sport whatsoever. I've never heard of pickleball in my life.
public court to play on. So make sure you reassure them that their two-handed backhand is actually very sexy, and then buy them some pen tennis balls for Christmas to cheer them up. Gymnastics. I think gymnastics is dope because it's not only a solo strength sport in the Olympics, my two favorite things, but it's one of the only sports where guys and girls compete in different activities, and everyone agrees each sex is actually better at their respective events, making it the first—
True. Actually true. It's one of those like thingies where like you can watch and be like, wow, no matter how knowledgeable you are about it. You know what I mean?
It's an only sport in the world where the average male and female internet commenter is almost tricked into admitting they actually like each other. Boxing. When I watch boxing, the only thing I think is how in the f is each person getting paid like $300 million for one
True.
fight? This coincidentally is what every professional fighter in the UFC is also thinking. MMA. MMA in the UFC was a great experiment because it made everyone realize what was mostly just acrobatics or performative art and what was really made for messing people up. At this point, it turns out that no one martial art does it all, and if you want to build the perfect fighter, you kind of just have to be an elite wrestler so you're built and conditioned like a Cold War lab experiment, then do jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and boxing.
Guys, I can't lie. MMA is one of the funnest one to watch, IMO. Why? It's because like it's so like crazy. The way that they move is so crazy. Like, bro.
Then send them 2-3 years Dagestan and forget. Nevertheless, it's pretty common for both men and women to say, well, that sounds like way too much work. What should I train if I only care about self-defense? That's actually a much easier question to answer. 100-meter sprint, Glock 19. Ping pong. I think everyone can agree that table tennis is the Rubik's cubing and cup stacking of sports. It might be one of the only sports that you can watch at a high level, and without any further context you say, yeah, to be perfectly frank, I have not been diagnosed with the potential to do that. Just to be clear, I'm not making fun of anyone. This was in fact my entire childhood repertoire.
Pencil spinning tutorials, basic thumb around. Oh my god, bro. Dude, I never were able to like do it.
Basketball. I admittedly don't know anything about basketball. I just get highlights of Jokic in my feed making crazy plays while looking incredibly unathletic and bored, then watch a related video of him with his racehorse looking really happy. That made me think that for every kid that wants to grow up to be an astronaut only to find out they're too dumb, there's also a 6'11", 100
Holy shit. God.
millionaire basketball player that always wanted to be a jockey. Skiing and snowboarding. The problem with skiing and snowboarding is if you go as a kid and make a day trip, then you have to get up stupidly early and drive for 4 hours, making it a completely terrible day. Or you stay for a weekend, but there is no point in doing that because after one day you're so sore from using muscle.
Dude! Oh my god. Nikita wants to go skiing again. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm so down. However, he said, oh yeah, we're gonna go do a 3-day skiing trip. 3 days? After the first day, I'm out. I am f***ing gone. What the f*** do you mean 3 days of skiing? Bro, when I ski for like 6 hours, oh my god, 67 hours, I legitimately get so f***ing tired. I can't handle anything more than that.
Muscles you've never used before, you're bedbound anyway. This admittedly does change when you're an adult, because you can go to Whistler for a weekend, fall off the T-bar and break your tailbone a few times, be way too sore the next day, but now you're thankfully old enough to go to the clubs, get drunk, then get chlamydia from an Australian before coming home and filing for bankruptcy.
Holy shit, what do you mean? Oh my god, 3,000?
Skateboarding. Skateboarding culture has always been cool and rebellious, and it hasn't just shaped other areas.
I've always wanted to do skateboarding, dude. I have always like wanted to do the sport, but like my disability like genuinely stops me from doing this, because if I get hurt, I get really hurt with this kind of like skateboarding. I've always wanted to do skateboarding, Matt. I'm so jealous of people who can do skateboarding.
Areas of society like fashion and street culture, but it also gives you deep psychological insights you might have not had otherwise.
What?
For example, I get annoyed when retired baby boomers with 4 properties can't figure out why they don't have grandchildren yet, until my friend Jimmy is meeting up with me so he can bankrupt Cactus Club during happy hour, and on the way over he thinks banging his skateboard into a fire hydrant is a trick. This causes me to immediately want to move my tax residence to Dubai, accept Western democracy as a failed state, and firmly lecture everyone on exactly what will and what will not be tolerated in my backyard if they want me to give them even a single penny. Baseball. To me, baseball is the EVE Online of sports, because the main highlight of baseball is whenever someone is up to bat, they announce the player's auto-generated Midwestern name, then
Yo, baseball is genuinely so confusing to me personally.
Show their stat card, which is what every baseball enthusiast and EVE Online player is waiting for, so they can cross-check they have it right in their Excel spreadsheet. Cricket. While not very popular
in the 90s,
most places,
we didn't just use skateboards, but a lot of us painted our own designs on them.
Oh, that's so cute.
The second most popular sport in the world. This is because, like being a MAGA Republican, most of its base is in India and Bangladesh. Nevertheless, it's an awesome game to watch. Only the highlights of because it takes fucking ages. As someone who grew up in Australia and loves playing cricket but not watching it, you could unironically read the entirety of War and Peace in the same time instead.
Oh my god, guys, I have this book. I was supposed to like read it, but I haven't read it yet.
Formula 1. As a casual F1 enjoyer, I'll be making a whole video for F1. Just have to wait until Ferrari finally has a good season. NASCAR. A lot of people make fun of NASCAR for basically just being a bunch of fast cars turning left for 4 hours. This is another bad take. Imagine it was a regular Saturday and I said, yo dude, you want a day drink and have a barbecue? You might say, yeah, that sounds fucking awesome, but is there some way to add even more stimulation to this fun weekend activity? Suddenly NASCAR makes complete sense. Complete sense. Soccer, as us North Americans call it, is straight up the most popular sport in the world for a reason. Almost no downtime, lots of action, and even
it's because it's the easiest sport to watch. Like, genuinely. You understand what's going on. You understand, like, oh my god, that's fucking insane for it to happen. You understand, like, it's just so easy to watch. It's so easy to follow.
Children in Africa or the Middle East can play without expensive equipment as they sweep for landmines. Even from a fan perspective, the constant criticism of players diving for penalties never matters that much because it's overridden by everyone's hatred of FIFA, the Call of Duty of sports games, which is only overridden by everyone's hatred of FIFA, the Venezuela of sporting organizations. American football. Well, American football and the Super Bowl is probably the sport most of us associate with American identity. Very unlike the American identity, football is really an intellectual turn-based strategy game, where ChatGPT tells a team of data analysts who tell the coach, who tells the quarterback, who tells the team what build order to do. Then they make the play for 3 seconds, then take a break. Anyone who isn't American or Canadian might watch American football and say, wait, so it's called football, but the objective of the game is to hold the ball with your hands and run with it to the other side of the field? And that's completely wrong. The objective of American football isn't to run the ball to the other side of the field. The objective of American football is to show the audience as many ads as possible.
I was just about to make a joke about that, but I was too slow with it. Okay.
Believe it or not, in the usual broadcast time of 3 hours, there's only 11 minutes of live action and 7
What? Oh my god.
75 minutes of commercials in a game of American football. If you're from literally any other continent besides North America, you might say, I don't get it. Why do you tolerate so many ads? But this is a very European take, because in our continent, we know that commercials are the best part of the Super Bowl. As they say, you really have to experience a culture in order to understand it.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. Guys, I might buy this. Oh my god, it's so cute. I always love casual explain, dude. I love the duck. Ooh, I might get it. I might cop it.